Yeah, little Flemmy. Hi, and welcome to SEO Podcast, the unknown secrets of internet marketing.
And SEO and PPC.
Dude, I
and
got
design.
it.
Yeah.
I got it. That was awesome. How are you guys doing this fabulous Friday? It's 9:15-ish Central Standard Time on a Friday, and we're doing what we normally do. We're broadcasting, bringing to you real live SEO information live here from the eWebStyle studio, conveniently located in the middle of the eWebStyle office.
That's right, everybody. Welcome back. And I have a new nickname for the show. I told Chuck about this.
Uh-oh.
The greatest show on search.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. You posted that on Facebook.
I stole that from some football team. Chuck, who is that?
I don't know.
Somebody as a football team that had the nickname the greatest show on turf, like in the early 2000s. So I'm going to steal that because no one cares about that team anymore. So we're now the greatest show on search.
The greatest show on search. We are your friendly neighborhood top position snatchers, where our mantra is, don't be a douche.
Yeah, and somebody said eWebStyle, the A-team of SEO, and I stole it, put it on the Facebook.
That was good.
Whoever said that, I was like, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we are the A-team. I love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah, the guy goes,
I pity the fool.
He actually said that on the Facebook page. He goes, I love it when an internet marketing plan comes together. I was like,
so
that's
awesome.
hilarious. It's so nerdy, but it's great.
As usual, we want to talk a little bit about what we talked on our last podcast. This is podcast number 88. Last podcast number 87, we talked about a whole lot of things. We have kind of a what's the right word for it? A producer son's existence. I don't know, that doesn't work. Darren Bowie seems to be our producer. He's given us a great slew of questions that we can ask and answer and have answered on our podcast. And he provided content last time. He's actually providing a lot of content this time. Darren Bowie, thank you.
He had a great question about canonical, whatever you call it.
Canonical links, yeah. So the tip is stay on top of your canonical links. Google Juice good.
Yes, Google Juice is good. Yeah, they had a couple questions but go back to podcast 87 and listen to those.
And we also had, that was the one where we presented the review of the guy who was taunting the one dude who gave us the bad review. So you can go check that out. Yes, actually somebody gave us a bad review. And not just for our microphone. Hopefully we have our microphone fixed by now. We are continuing to operate under that assumption. Actually, we may have identified a little hiccup in the process. So
thanks, Dean. And I actually saw Dean. I see Dean's podcasting now. I'm gonna have to check you out one day. But Dean's got like a radio studio set up. I saw he's got this $1 million mic. That's what it looks like. So I'm going to check you out one day, Dean, but thanks for the help with the audio.
So there's one tip from us as podcasters was, man, I need to get a good mic. I'll pay whatever it takes so I don't sound like those guys.
Really?
So we got lots of news. I am excited. There is a nice review that was posted on Facebook. We've added a bunch of friends. I printed off a list.
I believe I believe we had 60 friends last week.
Now we got 64.
Ooh,
so it's pretty exciting. No, I can't tell you which ones are the new ones.
I was just about to be like...
Maybe you'll recognize them. We had Eugene Panrutkovich. Panrutkovich. He posted a Dilbert cartoon. It's hilarious.
Yes.
It's like, I'm going to be in charge of social media. Just so you know, our company has forbidden Facebook and Twitter. So go ahead and be in charge of
Make us
media.
successful. So thanks, Eugene. Thanks, Rudy. You mind if I call you Rudy? Because that's where I get from your last name.
He also told us that we had a typo on our website, and I got that fixed. Thank you very much for that. We love you guys giving us some input.
Hey, thanks for reading.
Yeah.
We actually
did take some time to write it, and it's good to know that somebody's actually reading it. News. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. Google Chrome puts your hand in the cloud, I guess is what their kind of mantra is. What do you think of like an all cloud computer, like all cloud all the time?
I think it is the future. I think it is. I don't have anything serious on my computer that would be potentially harmful if it got in someone else's hands. So I would have no problem computing on the cloud. And I think it's been slow to adapt, but I think in years to come it will be the way that computing gets done. I mean, well, let's say a long time from now.
You're going to make 2 predictions in this podcast?
I am. Oh, I forgot the first one. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah,
here's what I say. I think it'll happen a long time from now. in computer years is probably like, what, 2012?
Yeah. Yeah. About a month and a half.
Yeah. But I think I hear a lot about it, and I think people will be slow to adopt it because it's foreign, and it's kind of like putting all your information out there on the internet so people
Somewhere
to
else,
grab.
yeah.
So,
People are a little leery
yeah,
about it, to be
and
sure.
for that reason, I don't keep like credit card information on my computer. I don't really keep anything that I could not lose and wouldn't be upset. So
I think there are a couple things. Bandwidth is still going to be a continuing issue if you want to do like photo manipulation, if you want to do video editing. Those kinds of things will kind of prevent you from being in the cloud. And then there are some general lag times. Although, all sort of internet's getting faster and faster, eventually it's going to be easier to access something on the internet than it is to get to your hard drive.
I think cloud computing will be, much more successful for businesses than personal. I would rather have my own information on my computer, but I could see a lot of businesses going with cloud computing for software, putting their software on the cloud and stuff like that. That's what I could see.
That's your prediction. Did you want to make another prediction? Is that later?
Well, yeah, I'll give it here in a second.
Okay.
I'll give it here.
So the kind of next piece of news, WikiLeaks has been like all over the news.
Yes.
I think they arrested the dude who was in charge.
They did arrest the guy, but I read why he got arrested. He got arrested on a sex charge.
Oh, wow.
That is completely unrelated to the news that was leaked.
That he was releasing. Well, how did they convict that famous gangster? IRS tax
Oh, they got him.
evasion.
Okay, yeah. So they got him somehow.
Yeah. So
he apparently had some debaucherous weekends in another country with some women and did
underage or something.
No, they were of age, but he apparently forced himself on. I don't know. It sounds really odd.
A little
to me.
suspect.
Yeah.
In every regard.
Yeah. So he got arrested. He was in Switzerland, I believe, which protects basic freedom of speech better than any other country. So they got him on a sex-related charge. Now they extradited him, I think, to London, and now they're talking about is there extradition to the U.S. and blah blah blah. But it was all kind of suspect. But read it. You can Google it. It's a great story.
It's interesting that they did some denial of service attacks on MasterCard and PayPal.
I did see that
when they stopped accepting payments for WikiLeaks. I think that's crazy. Oh, by the way, the dude who they think is the instigator of that is now in jail.
Oh, really?
Surprise! It's MasterCard and PayPal. That's a little crazy.
Yeah.
And I thought this was interesting. In 2007, Microsoft made an offer to Facebook. How much do you think that was for?
I know because
pretend you didn't know. And say
here's what I would say. Here's what I'd say. Who offered and I don't know. I'd probably say like $1 billion or something.
The details are just coming out. One of the numbers is in there. There's a 1 and then a 5.
$15 billion.
$15 billion.
Wow.
That's like. Well, we may have some blank stare news a little bit later about.
I didn't know that. That's news to my ears. I had no idea that Facebook tried to buy. Microsoft tried to buy Facebook.
Wow. For $15 billion.
Gosh.
Is that crazy?
That is crazy.
What? Hey, we got a review. This one is from Nathan Bonilla Warford. It says, I'm a new fan. This is right on our Facebook page. By the way, you can go find our Facebook page, facebook.com/ewebstyle. You can find our Twitter page, twitter.com/ewebstyle. By the way, more people seem to follow us on Twitter than actually like us on Facebook. I don't know what that's about. So all of you people out there who are listening, just go out and like us on Facebook, please. We know we get about 2,000 downloads of our podcast per week. So there's, 1 or 2 of you out there who have a Facebook account who could actually friend us.
Yeah.
And the way you can do that is just go to facebook.com/ewebstyle. Send us an email. There's so many ways to contact us. I think Darren Bowie has literally used every way to contact us.
I think so.
Except he hasn't called us yet.
Yeah.
That'll happen sometime.
Probably get a text message in about 5 minutes.
You can email us at podcast@e-webstyle.com. We have a YouTube page with some videos broken down of our podcast, youtube.com/ewebstyle. I think that is all.
That is it.
Yeah.
I have. We're going to answer some listener questions today. More listener questions, and I
Wait, I'm not done.
Okay,
I'm not done.
go
So
ahead,
here we go.
ahead.
I'm a new fan, loving your podcast. making SEO fun is a win in my book.
That's what's up. So that's a W. So eWebStyle 1. Everybody else 0.
I'm going to call that 5 stars.
All right.
Does that work? Yeah. By the way, there is a review link on our Facebook page, so you could actually go out and do reviews. We were playing around with our account this week, and we had to remove Paul as an administrator, and I was like, quick, go write a review. He didn't. We don't need to do that.
That's what's up. All right, so we're going to answer some listener questions, and I want to kind of cover the new Facebook briefly here for a second because it's the probably one of the big things that's in the news right now. Facebook has a new profile page or new page, a design for your profile. They're doing it to everyone, but you can go ahead and update your profile. I've updated mine. You did yours yesterday. Chuck did his. I think a couple of our fans actually did theirs because I took a look at it. Here's kind of what it is, and here's how it will affect you as a business owner looking to do some SEO. So, all right, they put all your current information is at the very top of the page. What you do for work, where you went to school, where you grew up, recent photo, like 5 recent photos are all tagged at the very bottom top of the page. Where there used to be tabs like links, photos, videos has all been replaced. That's gone now. That's on the left-hand side of it. And then they added something, and here's kind of really what I want to get into about it. Just below your profile picture, and it has, that's where the tabs are. That's where your photos are, videos, whatever tabs are at the top are now directly underneath your profile picture. Okay. It talks about there's a couple things that were added to the profile. There's a philosophy tab. There is an arts and entertainment tab, and there's activities and interests tab. Okay. There's also sports, or these aren't tabs, but these are things you can fill out.
Left, yeah.
These things you
parts
can fill
of your
out
profile.
in parts of your profile, right? What they're looking to do is they're looking for, if you talk about your activities and interests, they are looking for you to put a community page there. So on my own personal interest is running, tennis, strength training. So it's looking for, instead of just typing in those words, it's looking for me to actually link to the community running page that they had. There's an image for that page. Everyone who likes running can go to that page and just do what? I have no idea. But that's what they're really
probably
looking.
Not run.
Yeah, probably not run. They're looking for people to push these pages on their profiles. Why? I was going to say I don't know, but I know now, and I'll tell you why in a second. Here's where I get this. And this is actually from an article I read from, I believe, this is him. It's John Hayden. I don't know what John does, but I can't remember his...
New and improved Facebook profiles. Just Google that.
By John Hayden. He said something that really struck a chord to me. And he says, okay, Facebook is adding sports. So you can edit your profile. You can put your favorite team, your favorite player, your favorite college, whatever, college team, whatever. And
I don't think they allow cricket. I just think there's no cricket.
Not. It says, finally, the addition of sports and its focus on having users pick a single team and a single player suggests that Facebook will most likely launch a new sports marketing effort. Big money. And basically, many of these changes are obviously benefiting their paying advertisers when we look for a page. So that's what all of this is about. It's a way for them they've collected all of your information. Now they're showing people the information that is of interest to you.
So they can market like Texans tickets to somebody who likes the Texans.
Yes.
Or Dallas tickets to somebody like.
Go about Dallas because Dallas sucks.
Yeah.
Sorry, unless you listen to our podcast in Dallas.
Especially when they're playing hockey.
Yeah. So that's what's new, and that's how it's going to affect you. So it's going to expect more ways for Facebook to advertise to you. Now, if you are advertised on Facebook or had been thinking about advertising on Facebook, Levi, this is probably a great one for you. Levi Jump Training Amplifier, because it's sports related. So if you're thinking about getting into it, this is an excellent opportunity to market your company on Facebook.
Yeah, you can certainly exclude anybody who hasn't bothered to select the team, right? Because those people aren't that interested in sports. So
now here's my prediction, okay?
Prediction number 2.
Big prediction. All right. This one is Chuck had to kind of steal my thunder here because he was like, yeah.
I thought that was going to happen before.
Yeah, I was like, I thought I came up with something big here, right? Okay, my prediction. With the addition of sports and this focusing on sports and marketing to sports, I predict that Facebook will have fantasy football by the year 2012. And Chuck was like, yeah. how about next year? I've been thinking about that. I was like, I thought I came up with this all by myself.
Here's a question, because I know you're in 2 fantasy football leagues, right?
4.
Four fantasy football leagues. Does that include
3 football, and 1 soccer.
One soccer. So here's the question: do you think we'll have American football, fantasy football first, or will we have
American fantasy football?
Even though the largest sport in the world is soccer.
Yes, but because I think that my guess is that this will be U.S. based only fantasy football
to begin with.
Yes.
Okay. Well, there are typically more dollars in the U.S. market. I mean, the most successful in terms of cash flow World Cup in history was the '84 World Cup here in the United States. Here? Yeah, because we've just got
we're just gluttons for spending money, basically.
Yeah, there's lots of money. Hey, I don't even know what this sport is. Let's go check it out.
Basically.
And that's more exactly than happened. People who will throw themselves off of the back of the stadium when their team loses. So
that's my prediction. Fantasy football will be coming to Facebook in the U.S. I do think they will get soccer, but probably just in other countries. So that's my big prediction, y'all. I thought it was big, but apparently it's common knowledge.
I'm excited. I'm not in any leagues.
It's awesome, bro. It's great. All right, what's next on the menu?
All right, well, we've got a couple questions from Darren, so let's just jump into them. Okay, you asked for it. That's us. He has a Google Analytics question. What is the difference between absolute unique visitors and new visitors shown in new visitors versus returning visitors? If my life depended on it, I would probably say that it had something to do with page view timeouts after 30 minutes, but doesn't explain exactly what the AUV, again, absolute unique visitors, is, and then it doesn't explain why those are always more than new visitors.
Yeah, if my life depended on it, I'd be dead.
Yeah, I think we'll skip that one. I think we'll skip that one.
Okay.
Okay, actually something else just sprung to mind. Hopefully this one's easier.
Yeah, I know.
We'll get back to that other question, don't worry. Does the global location of your web hosting server affect SEO?
Wow, that's I have never been faced with that question before. That's an excellent question. Is a global
if we
location
hadn't just skipped the previest one, we would probably skip this one.
Can we get something easy here?
Yeah. Is it something like, is it important that your website be live? Yes.
Yeah, here we go. Here's what I can tell you about hosting servers and SEO. I do know that there are hosting servers out there that have had issues with SEO. And that's about I probably couldn't be more general. So
like you're saying, they've been flagged as kind of black hat type servers.
Or I'd say more for spamming. They get flagged for email spamming. And that has an effect on your SEO, if you're doing SEO, if you're on that server. I don't know. I honestly do not know.
And Darren's guess was, so I think we've hemmed and hawed enough. Darren's guess was, yes, he thinks that it affects it insofar as the speed, and I think that is a potential, right? Google has servers all around the world, so I don't think they're going to necessarily penalize a particular website, depending on target area and which server. If your server's over in the UK and it takes a little bit longer to come up, they're not going to penalize you that much for that. In fact, they've said that the time issue is only made a difference in, I think it was less than 10% of the search results. We mentioned that number, I think, about 2 podcasts ago. And when it says made a difference, it doesn't necessarily mean that the slower one disappeared. It just means it got bumped down a notch. So speed would have some effect. I don't think it has any effect in terms of location, right? So you put your server in California. We're in Houston. When people are doing searches in Houston, does Google care that the server's in California? Therefore, it's not relevant necessarily to here. No, because they've got their model is very diverse also. So they understand that your server can literally be anywhere in the world, and you can still be very relevant in a particular area. And most, as an example of that, when you Google internet marketing, when you Google web hosting, they don't provide Google local listings for those. In the little 6-pack or in the interspersed Google local results. because they really feel, in my opinion, the reason they're doing it is because they really feel that those types of services are not regional services. Those are, national or global services. So you can get your web hosting anywhere. Mm-hmm. If you're in Houston, you can get your internet marketing anywhere, even, no matter where you're at. So I don't think it has that much effect. He goes on to say, probably going back to what Chuck said, with Google local listings and directories such as Yellow Pages, Thomson local making, that's making the site more relevant to your area. Yeah, you definitely, you want to throw in Angie's List. In fact, I just came across Google's actually using Angie's List to populate some of its data.
Okay.
So Angie's List is also a very important one. I don't know if they have Angie's List in the UK. I know it's big here in the US. And getting bigger. They're advertising.
And that's
on TV.
another. I'm going to piggyback off of that and kind of go back to our podcast 2 weeks ago. We talked about UBL.org, universalbusinesslisting.org. So thank you to James Slattery, the podcast listener, fellow SEOer, gave us that tip. It's a great place. It's a great way to get your company listed in a ton of other directories for a very economical amount. I think it's $30 a year. Definitely do that. I don't know if Angie's List is in there, but it just reminded me, hey, if you can get your website listed in 150 or something directories, US-based directories, very quickly, do it. Definitely do it, and do it for the link juice. So that Angie's List just kind of reminded me of that.
Yep. That's what we talked about last podcast.
Yes.
We were trying to figure that out this morning. That's one of the things. We could make another tip now. Taking into account, he says, taking all of this local into account, then certainly it's worth having your correct address in the address tag. So there is an address tag, like a meta tag. There is an address tag. And yes, I mean, if it exists, Google's going to use it, to some degree, to be sure. And it brings up a whole world of, different pages with different addresses and what are the implications on that. And does Google actually populate their Google local listings potentially from address tags? But, I think we've teased them long enough. I think we really do need to get back to that first question.
Well, and I'm not answering that first question.
Me either. So I think we're going to need Charles, Chuck,
Mo
serious, SEO rapper, SEO flapper on Thanksgiving.
There you go, Darren.
Here he is, the one and only Charles Lewis, here to answer the question that we refused to answer.
Sounded like y'all was having some problems with the question.
Yeah. So absolute unique visitors and new visitors. What's the difference?
Well, I think first off, he's addressing three things: absolute unique visitors, new visitors, and returning visitors.
Right, he did mention that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so the key is, number one, you got two constants, right? The same computer,
right,
same IP address, same browser.
Right.
Okay, so if this is your first time ever going to ewebstyle.com, shame on you. But if it's your first time ever going there, then our analytics is going to track you as a absolute unique visitor. Right then.
Okay.
Okay, let's say you did that right now. You close this browser down and you come back this evening. Same IP address, same browser, but that session has been closed and brought back up. Now you are a new visit. You're not an absolute unique visitor no more because you're not.
And you're not a return visit because your browser's shut down. Okay.
Exactly. Now, if you bring us up, same browser. You never close the browser, but you may go to a different URL, may go look at something else, our Ustream page or our Facebook page or whatever. Then you come back to our site. You are a returning visitor.
So within an hour or a day.
It doesn't matter as long as the browser session hasn't closed.
Okay. Because when you close a browser, the browser closes all the session.
The session is closed. So as long as that browser's up, you can, if you come back to our site, then you are a return visitor.
That's interesting because the new visitor is a little counterintuitive. You're like, okay, even if I close my browser and I come back, I'm not new that day at least. But analytics calls it new. So an absolute unique visit is technically only supposed to happen once
per
ever
IP address per
ever
browser.
Per browser.
So I can only be an absolute unique.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure there's a difference. Like for example, you're using Chrome, 11552 uses IE, right?
Okay.
And so I'm pretty sure there's some sort of browser effect on it,
Okay.
which I haven't found out yet.
We haven't seen, there was no research kind of pulled that up and sort of said, hey, be mindful. If you use Chrome, you're really cool.
Yes.
I was in a meeting the other
Yes.
day. I was in a meeting the other day, and the guy was like, oh, my son just told me I got to get Chrome. Like, I need Chrome. I'm supposed to get Chrome. Can you help me? I'm like, dude, you don't need Chrome.
Yeah.
He said, no, but my son says it's awesome. It's like, you barely know how to surf. Yeah, it's another browser. It's like, do you need another version of Word?
Yeah, there you go.
No, you don't need another version of Word. And he was just, his son had hyped him up. And it's like, Chrome, it's this.
Well, my nephew uses Chrome, and he talks about Chrome just exactly like that. He's 17 years old. He's showing me all these new plugins. I'm like, how do you know this mess? Like, this is what I do for a living. Why are you teaching me this? Yeah. And he's like, oh, this is cool. Facebook,
I got an idea.
Yeah.
I can work from home. Just need my nephew to help me work from home.
Optimize the site for me, fool. Hurry up.
I did meet somebody who doesn't have a TV in their house.
Wow.
It's like, my sales manager, he doesn't have cable.
Yeah. And my TV's going out. So I will soon not have a TV here in a second.
Wow.
So basically the difference is, let me explain this, because I don't feel like I could quite grasp it. Absolute unique visitors, first time you ever go to a website, period.
Yep.
New visitors, come on.
Yeah, the new visit is when you come back to that site.
Browser's closed,
Yeah.
Same IP, same computer.
Okay.
Well, browser
It's a new browser session.
A new
It's
browser, and
session.
it has to be a new browser session. That would be a new visit.
Now, which would be the one that would be more valuable? If I'm doing, but first thing that I always look at new visit. When we look at analytics, I'm looking at new visit. I look at new visits.
You really want absolute.
Well, I think they're all valuable.
Yeah.
They just all have a different value.
Right.
You know, an absolute unique visitor is, yay, this is a brand new
Yes.
person.
Somebody who didn't ever hear of us before has now found our website.
A new visitor is somebody who came and came back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? Later that day, shut down, left the computer, and then they came back.
Return. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the returning visitor is probably some remarketing that worked.
Yeah,
Right?
okay,
yeah.
Brought them back.
And now I was going to get into that. If it's a returning visitor, I'm trying to figure out, okay, why did they come back? What pages did they go to? What were they missing?
Mm-hmm.
Was there something they were missing the first time they didn't get? They had to come back. You know, what can I do to give this person exactly what they're looking for?
The first time.
Yes.
Potentially. Yeah.
The first time. New visitors, I'm like, okay, how did they find me? You know, again, what pages did they go to? What are they looking for? But what avenue did they use to find me? And let me make sure that other people can find that. If it was from some PPC, if it was SEO, if it was from remarketing, I'm going to make sure that everyone can find me that exact way. So,
And what you do to figure that out is, let's say they did that on December 10th, right?
new visitor. This is absolute new.
You go into
Absolute
Google
new
Analytics,
visitor.
set your calendar to December 10th, and then check your visits, check your keyword log, check your content pages, and all the pages visited on that page came from those keywords,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
right? And that's how you can kind of determine what brought them there and what they looked at while they were there.
Okay, so now you can kind of judge your marketing efforts. Is my Facebook working better than my PPC? Is working better than my SEO? So now, because we talk about a lot of different things, and let's say you follow every single piece of our advice, you got, you're trying all this.
Well, first off, if you followed every piece of our advice, you'd be on the first page.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'd have lots of traffic.
And be sending me a check, fool.
And you wouldn't really care about absolute unique visitors
Yeah,
and
really
new
don't.
visitors and returning visitors. You'd just be counting the cash.
Counting the cash. So, yeah, I'm looking at.
We are your friendly local top position snatchers.
There you go.
And we'll go get it.
And I completely lost my train.
Sorry.
I have no idea. It's all good.
Fun, but
It's all good. It wasn't that important, though. So that's, new visitors, absolute unique visitors, and how, what you should do when you get them, how to find where they came from, how to use use them to gauge your marketing efforts and how people are finding you. Do we want to get into
Is there other questions?
global location, or should we save that for
I think
next
we
week?
should save that because we're doing. Is there any blank stare news?
The fact that they
Wait.
Oh, blank stare.
There we go.
Yeah, that wasn't in the.
I had a
blank
dream.
stare.
I had a dream about blank stare news. That's why I'm laughing.
That's not good. Hide your kids. Hide your wife.
Nothing out of the norm other than I'm still staring at Groupon for turning down $6 billion.
Wait. I heard that it was something that came out yesterday. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah.
No, I'm referring to
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Rob came in. He just read an article. Google tried to do it again. Apparently,
it seems right because it's new news, and I think it was nine.
Well, yeah, they upped the bid and it was declined.
Yeah.
Because of what did I read? They declined the offer because the founding people of Groupon felt suspect about it. I think they just didn't want to fully commit to it. And so
dummy. Gosh, I don't feel suspect about $9 billion.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they see, you know how it is. You kind of.
No, I don't. No one's ever offered me $9 billion.
I don't know how that works.
Okay, well, me either. But I mean, you know how if they offer 9, they may offer 19.
Okay. Oh, okay.
You know,
that's what's up.
I just think that's a strange game to play because Google can and probably will not go higher. They will probably just build a better one.
A Google Pond. That's what I was saying yesterday.
Google Pond. I like Google Pond.
Google. Yeah, actually, I do like that.
Google Pond.
Groupon.
There you go.
It's like short,
because
don't make it longer.
If I'm Google, I'm like, hey, take them down. Find something, find a better alternative, buy it, make it better, and run them fools out of business.
Yeah, make it an Android app. Right?
There you go.
You know, they 50% of all mobile devices right now.
Android
50% running on Android OS.
Wow, that's awesome.
You know what? Dean had a suggestion. We should do some mobile.
Mobile.
We should do some mobile search stuff and go into QR codes and.
Yeah, we need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're going to add that to our list.
All right.
Yeah, you guys on that?
Yeah, it's on my list. All right, guys, you have been listening to the most popular SEO podcast on iTunes. This has been another fun, fabulous, exciting podcast number 88, SEO Podcast, The Unknown Secrets of Internet Marketing.
That's their name. Right. There we go. That's it. SEO Podcast, The Unknown Secrets of Internet Marketing.
We are your friendly neighborhood top position snatchers. Our mantra is don't be a douche. It's been a blast. We are the most popular SEO podcast because you guys listen. We appreciate that. Yeah. Go out, get us a review on our Facebook page. Please give us a review on iTunes. You can also go to our Podomatic page and write reviews on individual podcasts out there.
And if you like us on Facebook, send us a message. Let us know. Levi did it last week. We got 3 new people that like this. I don't know who they are, and I have the list, but I
well, we've got Nathan Bonilla. Except Nathan, get us your website so we can give you some link love.
Shout out.
Check it out.
We do offer the free website analysis. You can go to our homepage, e-webstyle.com. You can find it. We'll submit the request. We will get to it. I am getting to a bunch of those this weekend. So if you submitted one the last 2 weeks, I haven't got back to you. Don't worry. Somebody's going to get with you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. This is the end of our podcast. My name is Chris Burris.
Paul Hansen.
Charles Lewis.
Bye-bye for now.